electric power company just admitted that ever since the 2011 earthquake, radioactive water from Fukushima's nuclear site has been steadily leaking into the ocean. As terrifying as that is, many people in the US will just shrug it off because Japan is far enough away to sound like another world. But the truth is, we should take heed because it does affect us and because we could be facing our own Fukushima-level nuclear disaster here in our own world in the not-too-distant future. Recently, about 80 gallons of radioactive water from the Palisades nuclear power plant were accidentally released into Lake Michigan. Officials weren't worried, though, because apparently the area's 2 nuclear power plants routinely discharge radioactive material into the air and into the lake. According to a Nuclear Regulatory Commission official, quote, "They would like to recycle as much as possible of their radioactive water, but there's business needs. That's just part of the operating cycle." He also maintains that the regular dumping of radioactive water is quickly diluted in the lake. A rep from the anti-nuclear group Beyond Nuclear argues that dilution as a solution to radioactive pollution only guarantees a chronic exposure to tritium, a known cause of cancer, birth defects, and genetic damage, to all those who rely on the lake for drinking water. And just this week, an ex-supervisor at the Indian Point nuclear power plant in New York was charged with fabricating fuel tests. He submitted bogus results, lying to NRC investigators about dangerous fuel contaminant levels to prevent the facility from being shut down. In Washington, the NRC has just begun an investigation into a problem with the cooling system at the Columbia Generating Station, which hasn't been properly maintained. At the Watts Bar nuclear plant in Tennessee, regulatory audits imperative to safety were just not done for 4 years because of bureaucratic paper shuffling. Keeping our aging nuclear power plants safe is not only increasingly difficult, it's also increasingly costly, as plants often go over maintenance budgets by millions of dollars. Yes, nuclear energy is carbon-free, and that aspect is great. But our aging plants face more and more ridiculously dangerous issues. And considering the fact that our government is mired in greed, bureaucracy, and, well, idiocy, isn't it time we seriously reconsider hanging up the nuclear option hat before we face our own massive Fukushima-level disaster in our own little American world, too? Tonight, let's talk about that by following me on Twitter @TheResident.